Being a professional wrestler is extremely, extremely hard. Well, hello, my name is Aaron Machbitz, and this is Pro Wrestling Daily, and this absolutely must stop. We must stop doing this because being a professional wrestler is really, really hard. And yes, we have the internet wrestling community that seems to know everything about everything. But if you've never actually been inside a professional wrestling ring, doing the damn thing, executing the moves, putting together a match, doing all of these sorts of things that compile putting together a match, it's really hard, then you really don't know exactly what it takes to put together a match. So if you're a fan of professional wrestling, that's awesome. We love you. We need you. We can only do this because you love the medium that we also love. In this beautiful community, that's a niche audience of people who love professional wrestling. Remember, we should be thinking about that before we critique, before we're harsh, before we're cruel, before we're mean online, that we're in this community together. And it's still, even though as professional wrestling is growing, it's still a very small community of people who love this. And I think you can remember back to the time where you got made fun of for liking professional wrestling, whether as a fan or becoming a professional wrestler or whatever people tell you about this sort of thing that happens, right? That shit's fake. Why do you watch that? And we'll get into that a little bit more, but please remember that. As you're watching this professional wrestling, there is no need to hate watch professional wrestling. Watch anything. Watch indie, watch AEW, watch ROH, watch New Japan, watch WWE. Find the product that you love and enjoy and can watch with your family or your friends or by yourself, or it's where you have your alone time, or it's where you just enjoy yourself tremendously. Yes, be that fan. Comment online. Buy the pictures, buy the shirts, talk about it all the time with your friends on the internet. Beautiful. That's amazing for everyone. But if you've never been inside a professional wrestling ring, then your commentary can only go so far. If you've never thrown a strike, if you've never fallen down or taken a suplex or tried to take a bump or ran the ropes or done a dive or done a headlock takeover or done any of these sorts of things, those are just very, basic but still very challenging maneuvers. If you've never done those, then watching people do moves that are a step up and a step up and a step up, you have no business commenting on them in a way that you think you could do better. That's the problem. You're allowed to comment. You're allowed to even critique. I do this show, Pro Wrestling Daily. I critique things all the time that I don't think came across well, or storylines, or the way he was positioned. But I have been in the professional wrestling ring. I've had 500, 600 matches, so I understand the dynamics that go into professional wrestling. But you don't if you've never been inside the ring, so your commentary has reached a level where, yes, if someone has a quote-unquote botch or something goes wrong, your first inclination should not be to go on the internet and smack talk that person because you don't actually know what happened and you yourself don't know how to execute that move properly. Because these are real people in the ring executing real moves in real time. So of course things are going to go wrong. Of course there's going to be a misstep or somebody's knee is going to clip the ropes on their way out on a dive. Of course. We saw it with Jey Uso. Most recently, we've seen it with Jordynne Grace. People just go online and they just absolutely are cruel. They're not critiquing anything. There's no actual feedback or constructive criticism, or I think this could have gone better, or I think you could improve this. This is not good. You suck. Why are you in the ring? That doesn't make sense in terms of you discussing something that you love and being so harsh and cruel about it. Because you've never been in the ring. You don't know what it's like to dive through the ropes and get your knee caught. It happens. But if you look at Jordynne Grace, she is one of the best professional wrestlers on the planet and one of the most athletic wrestlers on the planet, and spent a lot of time getting her body absolutely dialed in to be in this very moment, to be in the spotlight shining the way she has. And to say that she's terrible, or it's this, or it's steroids, or it's her athleticism, or why is she even out there it doesn't make sense because you yourself cannot execute that move to the best of your ability, even better than she can. And so it comes down to the point of, why wouldn't we just talk about the things that we love? Why wouldn't we just express the things that we did enjoy? There were so many good things to that NXT show. I did not watch. I saw the clip online of Jordynne Grace and figured I needed to come on here and we need to have a little rant, a little discussion about some of these things. Because yes, and then if you're outside of professional wrestling, if you're a person that's not a fan of professional wrestling, if you just have this sort of bird's eye view of professional wrestling, the only thing we get is, oh, that's fake, that's dumb, that doesn't make any sense. And again, it goes back to my same point. It cannot be fake if it's real people in the ring executing real moves in real time. There's no redos, there's no retakes, there's no, hey, can we run it back? No, this shit is live. This shit is happening right now in front of millions of people. There is no takebacks. So it cannot be fake. And we have to keep that in the back of our mind if we're actually fans of professional wrestling when we critique and we comment on these types of things. Yes, again, you're allowed. Sports journalism has been around forever. You're allowed to talk about it. I mean, think about the Stephen A. Smith and LeBron James situation. LeBron James is saying, yes, you can critique NBA as much as you want, but you cannot be cruel to the players, where it takes away from the actual basketball being displayed and the actual greatness that you're seeing on a nightly basis in the NBA. I agree with the sentiment there, right? I agree with the sentiment. Of course, you're allowed to critique storylines and wrestlers and matches. I do it all the time on this show. But there's a point where you can't be cruel. You shouldn't be cruel, at least. You can't dive into someone's character simply because they missed a move or they did a spear weird or they missed a botch or a dive or whatever. And you're talking about some of the most complicated, hardest moves in professional wrestling. And so when you completely understand the dynamics, and you can only understand the dynamics if you've been inside the wrestling ring, did the thing, trained, understood these things, how close do you need to get on a punch, how small the margin of error is on almost every single move that has to be executed in real time, in these small spaces, with the right timing, with the right approach, with the right execution. That's why you don't see all these amazing matches happen all the time. Right? A brilliant match is a brilliant match for a reason. The best superstars and the best wrestlers of all time are the best for a reason, because they could do these things almost perfectly. But of course they got things wrong. Owen Hart, prime example, one of the best wrestlers ever, got something wrong. Samoa Joe, talked about it recently, one of the best wrestlers ever, got it wrong slightly with TJ Wilson. These things happen. We have to remember that all of these things that are happening in the ring are extremely dangerous, are extremely complicated, are extremely hard. And if we're in the internet wrestling community, if we're part of the pro wrestling community, whether in shows or online, we have to remember that we love this thing. And we're not hate watching anything. We're watching something because we love it. And of course, we're going to comment on it. Of course, absolutely, we're going to critique it. Absolutely, we're going to say, this is not really my flavor. You have totally the right to do that. You're like, I don't really like this anymore, this direction of this storyline. This character doesn't really make sense to me. You have the 100% right to do that. I want you to do that. But we cannot move into the space where we're harshly and cruelly critiquing things that we utterly do not understand. And this is really the problem with social media now that everyone has a microphone. So I wanted to come on here and say this, understand what I'm trying to tell you here. Again, I'm telling you that you can't comment, critique, give feedback, talk, and you can do almost anything that you want. But when you get into the space where you're cruel and you're attacking someone's character and you're talking way over your head about something you really don't understand, then you need to stop. And understand from the bottom line is that professional wrestling is really fucking hard and things go wrong. But most of the time, things go right. And that is a testament to how good the performers are in the ring on every show that you watch. Because most of the time, people do things right. Most of the time, nobody gets hurt. And that is a miracle in and itself that so many wrestlers around the world are doing this thing. And we're all trying to stay safe and take care of each other and put on the absolute best performances that we can. That's what we should applauding. That's what we should be giving our flowers to. That's what we should be giving our attention to. So please, if you're a fan, keep watching professional wrestling. Keep talking about it. Keep telling your friends about it. Keep commenting on it. Keep going to shows. Keep buying the shirts. Keep buying the pictures. Keep doing all of these things. We absolutely love it and appreciate it. But understand, you will never truly grasp what being inside a professional wrestling ring feels like until you're in it. And that's what makes the beauty of this great. That's what makes you idolize and look up to these people, because you don't know what you don't know. And that's amazing. and you look up to these people because they're doing something incredible inside the ring. And so let's keep that in mind as we watch wrestling, as we comment on wrestling, as we do all of these things that are in this new sort of digital age of professional wrestling. So thank you very much. I would love to know what you think in the comments down below. Please comment down below, and then, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and yes, please share this video with every single professional wrestling fan on the planet as we grow this channel together. Thank you. See you guys next time. Lots of love. Cheers.